Good morning. Morning church. Today is what they call Maundy Thursday. Maundy, I think. That's a C student trying to spell for you, so you might want to double check that. Um, it's a word that they think refers to the commands that Christ gave throughout this period of time in his storyline, which is right before he goes to the cross. This is the Thursday before he is arrested, and it's the upper room discourse and much instruction. So I would like to encourage you that this is some really important information that Christ gave his disciples. I like to read through this section several times a year, but especially at Easter, and it's John chapter 13, 14, 15, and 16, and then chapter 17 is when Jesus takes them into the garden, and you get to see his interaction with them as well as his prayer for them and for us. So those chapters are really important today. The next few days, I encouraged our church last night to meditate on these things, read them, and look at what's the big picture. John chapter 13, it says Jesus knew that his hour had come. We're going to be talking about his hour on Sunday. But when they knew his hour had come, that he loved his own, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And that's the time during the upper room discourse. Jesus is with his disciples. They're having their meal. They're arguing over who's the greatest at the table. And the greatest at the table gets up from the table and actually goes and washes their feet in John 13. So when you're reading through this, just look at all the events and look at the instructions. Here's what Jesus says. When he had washed their feet, he put his outer garments back in place. And he says, "If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also are to wash the feet of one another." So we're just going to take that for a moment and reflect on it, because it's part of the Maundy Thursday of Jesus' life. And I'm just going to ask you, there are churches that practice foot washing every Sunday. They wash one another's feet. Jesus washed the feet of all 12 of his disciples. Peter, the one who's going to deny him and actually try to murder somebody in the garden before the denial, and who's going to quit ministry and have to be recalled in John 21. He washed Peter's feet. He washed Thomas the doubter's feet. And he washed Judas the betrayer's feet. And I'm just asking this morning, will you humble yourself and wash people's feet, even though they may betray you or hurt you or shame you, even though they may bring pain into your life? Would you be willing to wash their feet, to humble yourself and serve them in that way? Now, you can take that literally as a literal foot washing, or you can just look at it as an opportunity to serve them in some very humble way. I like the second. I think God calls us all the time to be humble servants and to help people. So just thinking through Maundy Thursday, and sort of the first thing that happens when Jesus gets in the room with them, they begin arguing about greatness, and he begins humbling himself to wash their feet. So how about let's wash some feet today? Let's serve some people. Let's stretch ourselves out and humble ourselves before the Lord. I pray you'll spend some time quiet before the Lord, just reflecting on what's about to happen to Christ and why. He never sinned against his Father. We did. So you guys be blessed. I appreciate you watching and sharing these videos. Hope they're a blessing to you, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.